Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anybody in between. Welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up & Co. Apologies for the even longer delay this morning. The laptop just doesn't want to seem to play ball this morning. So I just had to check we are actually broadcasting. We are here for our Wednesday Championship, the Manufacturers' Cup. This is the one, if you've not been watching it over the past 2 or 3 weeks, you will know. If you have been watching it, you will know. I'll get my word out in a minute. The guys have picked a manufacturer and they raced the Group 4 and the Group 3 car with 2 races. So the first one is the GR4 or Group 4. Second one is the GR3. So we're over in America on the fictional track of Blue Moon Speedway, Infield A. Just over 2 miles long with 10 turns, a very fast flowing track. Turn 1, a bit of a doozy, in and out. There is quite a bump as you go down, and then another bump as you come out of it. So that one should be fun. And then we've got turn, I forgot which one it is now. Turn 4, I think it is. The really sharp left-hander. So we'll see how the, no, it's turn 9. What am I on about? It's turn 9. It's a sharp left-hander. It's throws you out into the wall. So this should be fast and furious. So without further ado, let's get on with it. We've got, I forgot what it is, about a 25-minute race. I'll do that many, I'll get them all confused. It's about a 25-minute race, so we'll crack on with this one. Let's have a look and see where everybody is on the grid, shall we? So Matty is on pole position in the Citroen. Now, Matty last week got himself on the podium. He got himself a 2nd in race 1, but 7th in race 2. So obviously he's going to be looking to improve that. Wadru is in 2nd. Dandan is in 3rd. Dragoumis, of the first of our Greek compatriots there, is in 4th. Then Jogalis is in 5th. But we're going to shorten it to George. It's just easier for me to say. Now, George had a decent week last week. He got himself a 1st in race 1 and a 4th in race 2. So not bad going for George. So obviously he's going to be looking to repeat that. Colonel Curtains has got himself 6 on the grid, and thank you to Colonel Curtains for sharing the replays. In 7th, we've got Cy. We've got T. Bennett in 8th. DJ is 9th. PM10 in the Ferrari. He's 10th. He had a fantastic week last week. Got himself a 3rd in race 1 and a win in race 2. So somebody else who's on a charge now. Found his form as PM10. Then we've got Itumi Dan in 11th. We've got Manos in 12th with Brian Moncardi bring up the rear in 13th in that Mercedes. So without further ado, let's get this race underway, shall we? So standing start, grid start, shall we, as it is this season in the Ultimate Racing League. And we are away, and Wadru gets a fantastic start in the Porsche as they head down towards well, turn 1, this is where it's going to start getting tricky, and you can see the bank section there on the right, and as the cars come down into the entry of turn 1, it slams down as Matty, whoa, very spectacular right from the start. Let's just have a look. I just want to see whether he was helped or that was his of his own doing there. You can see what a fantastic launch Wadru got off of the grid to get himself up into the lead. Oh, now then, he did get a bit of a nudge, didn't he? Naughty George there gave Matty a right good thump as we came into turn 1. If you just look at this, there we go. Oh, and I'm sure George is going to pull over and wait. If we can find him, where is he? Yeah, I'm sure he's going to pull it. You're going to pull over, aren't you, George? George, you're going to slow down, aren't you? And give him the place back. Maybe not. Oh, sorry. What I want to, I'm going to have a look and see whether George got a bit of a help across the across that one as well, because he's not stopped. Now let's just have a look. No. So George, I think you deserve a good 10 minutes in the sin bin for that. That was very, very naughty. You don't just smash people off the track and then don't bother waiting for them. Or do you? I don't know. Is that how they do it in Greece? But anyway, let's crack on. We'll let the stewards deal with that one. Wadru carries on out in front. Naughty George in 2nd. Colonel Curtin is in 3rd. Then we've got Dragoumis, Sai, Dandan, Sumi Dan there. and DJ are your top 8 as we come into turn 6. This very tight right hand hairpin. Oh, got all straight with the barrier there for a couple of them as DJ and Bennett go almost side by side around turn 7 and 8. Then we head towards this dreaded turn 9, and it's still side by side for Bennett and DJ. Oh, one of them's going to have to give in, or there's going to be a slap with the barrier, and there we go. Bennett just gave it a little tap, but managed to survive as he still pushes hard to get in front of Grasser. DJ, naughty me, it's DJ, not Grasshopper. Get the two mixed up. PM10 there in 10th. He's decided he's going to have a look on the inside, so it's 3 deep. Well, we got 3 deep as well with Dan Itsumi Dan, and it looks like Sai as well, but they've sorted themselves out. Itsumi Dan gets himself on the inside and just ahead of Dan, and there we go to the inside again at turn 2. Through turn 3 and then into the right hander of turn 4. We will do an on-board, as we usually like to do an on-board with one of the guys. In fact, let's jump on board with Dan now, shall we? As we're staring at the back end, should I say, of the Ferrari of Itsumi Dan. Itsumi Dan picking up half a second penalty, and Dan tries to get himself onto the inside as we go around turn 6 up towards turn 5. I think he's still there. Yeah, Itsumi Dan, he's still there on the inside, but carrying that half a second, so he will lose this place to Dan size somewhere there. He's tucked so close underneath Dan spoiler we can hardly see him. Oh, a bit of a touch with the barrier there for Sai as well, so penalty served then for Itsumi Dan. Let's jump out and let Dan crack on with it. So DJ goes through, Sai goes through, Itsumi Dan drops down to 8th and now comes under a bit of attention from Bennett in 9th as they head across the line to start lap 3. PM10 still down there in 10th, Manos in 11th. Excuse me, Brian Mulcahy, he's already gained a place and moves up into 12th, but that's because of Matty's unfortunateness at turn 1, who is down in 13th and trying his hardest to play catch up. Now there is going to be a pit stop. Well, I do not know for the life of me. This happens every time. Just as the guys are coming to turn 4, the camera seems to not work, which is a real shame because that turn can throw up all sorts of issues, but there we go. I don't operate the cameras. Now, as I was mentioning, there will be a pit stop, but it is mediums and soft tyres are to be used. So let's have a look. Wadru out in front on the soft tyres. Then we've got George, also Naughty George on soft tyres. So is Dragumis. Let's have a look. Colonel Curtains, he's on mediums, so fantastic start for Colonel Curtains. He's staying in touch with the guys in front, sitting there in 4th on the mediums. Dan also on the mediums. Then we've got DJ on the softs, same as Itsumi Dan. PM has now made his way up into 8th, so I missed that one, but a good couple of overtakes for PM10. Now up into 8th, he's on the mediums. Bennett on the softs. Matty, what's here? He's on the softs. Brian Mulcahy on the mediums, with Manos on the softs and Sai on the medium. So quite a mixed bag actually for this first race, for the first stint, should I say, in race 1. So pit stop will be coming shortly. I'm not sure if it's, what do you reckon, about lap 8, 9, something like that. Maybe, let's have a look, halfway through the race, so 25 minutes, about, yeah, 10, 12 minutes I would imagine. Of course I'm just guessing. So Wadru still leads. Naughty George in 2nd. Then we've got Dragumis. He's made his way up into 3rd. He's going to start putting his compatriot under a bit of pressure now. Good exit out of that turn 9 is what you're looking for, so you can get the power down, catch up to the car in front, get into the slipstream, and that's exactly what Dragumis has done. So he's into the slipstream of Naughty George. Is he going to make a pass though as they get towards turn 1, or is he going to do the same thing that George did and just give his mate a little bit of a tap? No, he's just stayed his distance, hasn't he? Now then, I did see a pit flash up there. So Colonel Curtains is into the pits already. So at the end of lap 4, Colonel Curtains on the medium tyres is coming in. Sai has also followed him in as well. So tactics for those two. They've just got to hope that those soft tyres last for the remaining 20 minutes. That's a long way to take them soft tyres. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sai and Colonel Curtains get on with those. Maybe they're looking at a 2-stop. Out in front though it is Wadru. Then we've got Naughty George and Dragumis following him in second and third. Dandan in fourth on the mediums. He's staying out. DJ also staying out. He's on the soft tyres. Starting to show signs of wear though, especially that front right on that Viper. It'll be the same for everybody. Matty, wow, what a fantastic recovery he's having. Look at this. He is up to 6, having been knocked off at the very first turn on the first lap. Matty has now got himself up into P6. Brilliant recovery race from Matty. It'd be nice to see him actually get up onto the podium after this. You get my vote of driver of the day if you do. PM10 into 7th, so he's made a few places up, hasn't he? Started down in 10th, I believe. Yeah, he did. So PM10 started in 10th and up to 7th. So a good start for him. Sorry, I'm dropping all my paperwork everywhere. We've got Bennett in 8th. He's in a nice little battle now. Look with the Tsumi Dan. It's Tsumi Dan taking us through turn 2 into the... Oh, come on. Bloody camera. Oh, it's that same camera. I think they've actually switched that camera off. So it's a real shame because at turn 4 we need to see what's happening there. But Tsumi Dan has got himself in front of Bennett and he's opened up a little bit of a gap actually. As Bennett comes under attack from... sorry, not Tsumi Dan. Yes, it is Tsumi Dan. He's opened a gap up back to Bennett. Bennett, he's coming under attack from Manos. That's it. Manos is putting the pressure on, or trying to. He's got Brian Moncani just behind him, though. Let's jump on board with Brian Moncani as we go through this very nasty turn 9. As you can see, Manos having a bit of a scrape with the barrier. That has given Brian Moncani the momentum. He's going to carry that through, so he should be able to take this position. It's just going to be a flat-out race now. Oh no, Brian Moncani into the pits. Colonel Curtains then in 12th. He's made his pit stop and onto those soft tyres. I'm really worrying that they're not going to make it to the end. I hope they do, but it is a worry because if we go up to the likes of Wadru, who's out in front, or Dragumis just in second, they're on the soft tyres. We've done 8 minutes and already showing about 30% wear on the front right side of the car, so yeah, we'll have to see. Colonel Curtains and Cy both came in very early. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. Wadru though still out in front, so let's have a look, see if we can go on board with somebody and let's have a look. Let's pick on somebody, shall we, to do a lap. Let's do with Wadru. What am I like? Hey, why not go with a race leader? So across the start finish then, this straight is 890 metres from the exit of turn 10 into turn 1. So as we cross the start finish line then into turn 1, thump down into the entry, dab of the brakes, and then back on the power as early as you can, and then thump your way back up into the high bank, heading towards turn 2. This left-hander, very fast left-hander as well. Again, just a slight dab of the brakes, get the car to turn in. Through turn 3 and then into turn 4, this a right-hander. Did I say turn 2's a left-hander, not a right-hander? Turn 4 is the right-hander where we tend to lose the camera shot. Under the bridge, into the braking zone at turn 6, the hairpin bend, before getting back on the power for a short period only before you hit a double left-hander, which is turn 7 and turn 8, and then back on the power again. Let the car just drift out onto that curb, heading towards turn 9, which is this dreaded turn. Cut as much as that corner as you possibly can get away with, avoiding the wall, so well done to Wadru there. And then it is foot on the noisy pedal all the way towards that start-finish line. A quick look behind us and it's pointless. Well, we can see the plane coming in. Look, we're being chased by a plane. And across the line, so Wadru, thank you very much for taking us around. Now then, fastest lap at the minute belongs to Matty in P4. We know he's got the pace because he got himself on pole position, didn't he? So Matty has a 1:12.9 at the minute. Let's have a look. Wadru, his fastest is a 13.3. He got that actually on 2 and 5. So Wadru showing good pace now. Then we've just had another couple of guys in the pits. It is Dan changing the mediums. He's going on to the softs. DJ coming in. He's getting rid of the softs and going on to the mediums. So yeah, pit stops now coming in at the end of lap 9. I would imagine there's going to be a couple more over the next couple of laps as well. So let's have a look and see if we can find a bit of a fight. So Naughty George is having a battle now with Colonel Curtains. Colonel Curtains made his stop a little bit earlier, so tyres are starting to wear, but they are going to be well and truly up to temperature, especially under this United States sunshine. So Colonel Curtains putting the pressure on Naughty George as they go around turn 6. It is the AMG power against the Porsche. That Porsche very quick, very nimble through these turns, although the tyres are starting to not quite warm enough. I was going to say they're starting to warm up. They're not quite warm enough, I don't think. So Colonel Curtains needs to hurry up and try and get past Naughty George as quickly as he possibly can, because as soon as those tyres come into play for George, then I don't think Colonel's going to be able to catch him on those medium worn softs. Let's have a look. More people into the pits then. Matty is in. Itsumi Dan is in. Who else is in? Itsumi Dan, yeah, he's going to be changing onto the mediums. Let's have a look at the time. We are just coming up to 12 minutes, so we're not even at halfway yet. We've got another 30 seconds before we hit the halfway line. Let's have a look then from the top. So Wadru has made his pit stop. That's allowed Dragumis to go through and take the lead temporarily, though, because the right hand side of his car is looking very well. That front right is looking very nasty, isn't it? Is he going to come in now? Yes, he is. So Dragumis into the pits. He's got quite a gap, actually. Now then, PM10, I think he's got to make a pit stop as well. It's not that long a pit stop, I don't think. No, Dragumis still in there. PM10's going to stay out. But PM10, all the way from 10th on the grid up to, well, he's now going to take over the lead of this race. Let's have a look. Where's Dragumis? Dragumis has just hit the pit crew. Quick tyre change for him. I don't think they're going to need to stop for fuel. Let's have a look and see where he comes out as Wadru goes through. So Dragumis out just as... that was close, and I think that has caused Wadru to do a little bit of drifting there. Let's have a look at this from Wadru's point of view. This was fantastic car control, I've got to say, from Wadru. And this is a problem with this track. The pit exit is right where you're turning into turn 1. There you can just see Dragumis come out just as Wadru wanted to take that line, which caught him off guard, but fantastic control from Wadru. Didn't do his front tyre any good on the right hand side, but brilliant car control to avoid Dragumis. Now Dragumis has got right onto the back of him again because of it. Oh, bloody camera. It really is a nasty place to have a pit exit. But let's have a look, shall we, and see where we are then. PM10 out in front in the Ferrari. He's yet to make a stop. Then we've got Bennett also yet to make a stop. He's really done well with those tyres, hasn't he? At least I don't think he's made a stop. Fantastic, yeah, really looked after his tyres as Bennett in second. Then he's got Wadru and Dragumis chasing him down. Now Wadru was the leader for most of this race, wasn't he, up until the pit stop. And if the two guys in front of him, or sort of say when the two guys in front of him come into the pits, he will resume this lead unless Dragumis can get past him. We'll go on board with Dragumis. You can see that Bennett has dived into the pit, so Wadru moves into second, Dragumis goes into third. Dragumis having a bit of a look up the inside. Is he going to make a move? He has. He's got himself alongside. Oh, now then. Oh! Was there contact, or did... let's have a look. Did Wadru manage to avoid him? You can see Wadru, I think he was just caught off guard just a little bit. Didn't quite realise that Dragumis was there. Now, Dragumis didn't have a full half car alongside Wadru, and Wadru, though, took evasive action, did very, very well, actually, to avoid the contact, and he stayed in front, although he's drifted a little bit wide as we came through turn 4 there. As I say, it'd be lovely to see the camera angle properly on turn 4, because it can cause some proper problems. Into turn 6 then, and Dragumis moves ahead of Wadru, although Wadru's not going to stand for that for long, is he? Fantastic battling between these two as they head up towards the final turn before getting onto that very long right-hander of turn 10 and then back onto the straight as well. We'll just turn off drop and have a look, see what's going on behind. So Colonel Curtains is now in 4th. He's ahead of Naughty George. Dan in 6th on the soft tyres. Then we've got Matty in 7th, trying to recover something from this race after that disaster at turn 1. We're just over the 15-minute mark, so a little under 10 minutes to go in race 1 in the GR4s in this Manufacturer Cup. DJ in 8th, Sai in 9th. Then we've got Tsumi Dan sitting there in 10th in the Ferrari. So everybody made a stop now, I think. Bennett just getting a little bit closer to it. Tsumi Dan, he's got Brian Moncani all over the back of him. And Brian Moncani really putting Bennett under a bit of pressure. Has the Mercedes got the grunt to keep up with that Lamborghini as we head towards the dead zone? That's where we're going. There we go, into the dead zone. We knew that was coming, didn't we? So as they go through turn 4, on the exit, Brian Moncani, both Bennett and Moncani run wide, but managed to get back onto the tarmac very, very quickly. So a good little battle developing between these two. Maybe even 3 if they can get a little bit closer to Itsumi down. And then we've got Manos. Well, he must be approaching turn 4. Yeah, there he is. Or isn't. There he is. So Manos made his pit stop then, which has dropped him down to the back. So out in front is still PM10. PM10 still to make a pit stop. He really has looked after his tyres. Fuel is not an issue in the Group 4 cars. Or it's what we're finding anyway, it's not an issue. So PM10 enjoying this lead for the moment. He has got Dragumis and Wadru that are a little bit close to him. So when PM10 comes into the pit, it is almost guaranteed that he will lose that lead to Dragumis and Wadru. Whoever is in front at the time, it is Dragumis at the minute holding on to P2. Colonel Curtains, he's getting a little bit closer to why the two guys ahead of him are battling. It's enabling Colonel Curtains just to creep up to the back of them. So this should be a fantastic race to the finish. We've got Naughty George in 5th. He's desperately trying to catch up as well in that Porsche Cayman, with Dan in the Scirocco in 6th. Looks like he's got a busted headlight as well. And it's probably through slamming into the barriers. And there we go, PM10, race leader into the pits, which means Dragumis and Wadru are going to go through to take 1st and 2nd. Dan will probably gain a place as well. You can see Colonel Curtains has moved up into 3rd. Naughty George in 4th. Dan soon to move up into 5th. There we go. Matty in 6th. PM10 just reaching the pit crew now. So DJ, when's DJ? He's going to go by as well. So PM10 losing a lot of places now because of the pit stop. PM10 just coming out just behind sight. So no dramas there when he rejoined and back onto the track in P9. So only 1 place gain then from the start for PM10. Brian Moncani in 10th with T. Bennett just behind him. So Brian Moncani got the job done there over Bennett. Itsumi Dan in 12th with Manos in 13th. So back up to the top, and the battle rages on for the lead of this race. We are at the 18.5-minute mark. So about 7 minutes to go. Dragumis holding off Wadru at the minute. We'll go on board with Wadru as we come around turn 10 onto the straight. 890-metre sprint towards turn 1. Now then Wadru trying to get into the slipstream. For what use it is, by the time he gets some real benefit out of it, they'll be at the turn. And there we go, bang, down the dip into the entry of turn 1, and then you've got to thump your way back up onto the embankment. Really unsettles the car. I find it more in the GR3s. It's going to be more interested in the Group 3s actually, because the back end tends to want to come out on them when you hit that bump, which takes you up into the exit of turn 1 and onto the straight towards turn 2. But at the minute it is Dragumis holding off Wadru. He's doing a good job actually, because holding off Wadru is not an easy task. Colonel Curtains in the AMG Mercedes just pushing. He's not quite close enough to put a challenge in against Wadru or Dragumis at the minute, but I'm sure he'll be happy with P3 with, let's have a look, just coming up to 5 minutes left of race 1. There is a bit of breathing space back to Naughty George in 4th, although he's going to be coming under a bit of attention from Dan in 5th in that Sirocco. So Dan really pushing hard now. Let's have a look. His fastest lap is a 1:13.2. Matty still holds the fastest lap at the minute with a 1:12.9. Very consistent from Dan though. 13, 13, 13, another 13 clocked up. So very, very consistent, and I think, you know, he is getting closer to Naughty George. So that could be a great battle towards the end of this race. We've got about 4.5 minutes to go as they start lap 17. Matty's still trying to play catch up to the guys in front. He's done an absolute fantastic job, actually. Considering the start he had, he's got the fastest lap. He's already clocking up purple sectors, and he's up to P6, so not a bad effort all round from Matty Older. If he can improve on that, then, well, that would be fantastic. But he's got to catch up with Dan and Naughty George first, or as we go into the final few turns, and Dan having a bit of a look up the inside. Oh, he's dishing it out now. Oh, Naughty George doesn't like that, does he? As Dan pushes his way through into P4 before they hit that nasty turn 9 and get themselves onto this long sweeping left-hander. Foot on the noisy pedal, as we've said, all the way through, reaching maximum speeds before we hit turn 1. Let's have a look at these speeds. 34, 35, about 137, 138 miles an hour then, before they have to slam the brakes on. And there we go, brakes on, slam down into turn 1, and then bang, bump yourself back up there onto that bank and head towards turn 2. So Dan, great move there actually at turn 7 to get the move done on Naughty George. George down to 5th now, Matty Older in 6th, PM10 in 7th. He's coming under a bit of pressure. Oh, bloody camera. He's coming under a bit of pressure from DJ as we see them exit turn 4. That camera seems to die, doesn't it, as they go through turn 3 and turn 4. Perhaps they just haven't employed enough cameramen, or they're on strike. Who knows? It's always been a problem. I've only just realised it on this when we started this, that it's always been a problem on this track, that turn 3 and 4 the camera just dies. Never mind, back to the racing. PM10 coming under attack from DJ. Side just sitting there behind him. DJ all over the back of PM10 now, if he can get a good exit out of here. He's foot to the floor. He's definitely into the slipstream. Side as well, probably picking up a double slip, although I don't think it's going to help him before they get towards turn 1. DJ might be able to make a move on PM10. No, I think the gap's too big. I thought he was a little bit closer than that. So PM10 in that Ferrari will get into the turn first, although DJ does take the tighter inside line, hugs that apex before getting back onto the power. That has got him a little bit closer to PM10. So PM10 on the soft tyres as well. He should be able to... Oh, as DJ goes very, very wide. Well, the camera worked for the first time ever. I think the camera worked. But anyway, so DJ very, very wide into turn 2 and 3. And that's allowed Side to get alongside of him. Now, DJ does have the inside line going into turn 6. So should be able to hold on to P8, although Side, if he can stay there, he's going to have... No, he can't. I thought he was going to get the inside into turn 7 and 8. Although he is having a bit of a look, but no, he's just going to have to slot in behind DJ again. That off, though, of DJ's has cost him quite a bit of time in the pursuit after PM10, so PM10 can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. We are now entering to the last minute of this race as we go up, and Dragumis has started his final lap with Wadru still in hot pursuit. Both tyre wear looking the same, fuel pretty much the same as well, so very evenly matched. So Dragumis doing a great job at the minute. Wadru sitting there in second. Colonel Curtains just dropped off the back of them a little bit, but I'm not surprised. Look at the front tyre. We did worry, didn't we, that he came in too early, and he's going to have to nurse that car back now. Then Dan could nick a spot here because Colonel Curtains is suffering with the tyres. Let's have a go up to the top and see where the guys are. Not quite there yet. They're just, well, we're going to stay with them. They're just coming around turn 9. Oh, let's have a, this is going to be tight actually. They may even get one more lap in. We're just going to stay with the race leader for now. No, is he? No, yes, no, yes, no, he's going to finish. Of course, yeah, there we go. Dragumis will get the win. So well done to him. Wadru in second. Fantastic stuff from those two. Colonel Curtains just gets himself across the line to take P3. Dandan fourth. Matty is in fifth. Great recovery race from Matty, gotta say. Naughty George in sixth. PM10 will cross the line in seventh. Then we've got DJ in eighth. Very closely followed by Sai, who crosses the line in ninth. Bennett should finish in 10th, just ahead of Brian Moncani, who comes across the line in 11th. Then we've got Toomey down, coming around turn 9 now. Not the best of races from him. It's not what he would have wanted. But we have got race 2 to come in the GR3, so the guys will go off, have some lunch, cup of tea, and then back out into the quicker, bigger cars. So down across the line in 12th with Manos, who will come across the line in 13th. So that was race 1 in the Wednesday Manufacturer Cup in the GR4s. As I say, the guys are going to have a quick break and then we'll be back again with the GR3. So please stick around for that.